In our study of the lower limb muscles, there are 9 groups or compartments of muscle that we're studying. This presentation will focus on the muscles of the posterior thigh. So here are the compartments of the hip and the thigh viewed from a lateral aspect. And you can see 3 compartments in this picture: the very large anterior compartment that wraps around the lateral side of the thigh. You can see the posterior hip compartment, which includes the gluteal muscles above. And then to the right in the picture, you see the posterior thigh muscles from this lateral view. Here's another view. This is a posterior view, so it's going to be more direct. Again, you can see the posterior hip muscles above. You can still see some of the anterior thigh muscles. And in this picture, you can see some of the medial thigh muscles as well. But here is the posterior thigh compartment. This is sometimes called the hamstrings in athletic or exercising situations. It looks in this picture like there's 2 big muscles. There's actually 3 muscles in this hamstring or posterior thigh area. The 3 muscles are the biceps femoris muscle, which is lateral in the picture, and the semimembranosus and semitendinosus muscles, which are both medial. And they're sometimes difficult to imagine because one is superficial to the other. So from this posterior view, the semimembranosus muscle is very hidden. Let's look at the 3 one at a time. So here is the biceps femoris muscle. Its origin is way up on the ischium, actually the ischial tuberosity, and it runs on the lateral side of the posterior part of the thigh. And so you can see its insertion is down onto both the tibia and the fibula. The head of the fibula is right down in that area. In the drawing that you see below here, you can see the muscles and the bone and all of that fairly well. On the medial side of the thigh are 2 muscles. The superficial one is the semitendinosus. You might want to say in your mind, this is the semi that has a T in it, semitendinosus. I usually say the tendinosus is on top, meaning superficial. It has the same origin, as you can see in the little line drawing below. All 3 of these muscles come from the ischial tuberosity, but it comes down onto the medial side of the thigh and anchors onto the tibia there. The one that's most difficult to see and imagine is the semimembranosus, which is underneath, which is deep to, at least from this picture, it's deep to the semitendinosus. And sorry about this picture. I should have changed that bicep femoris out of here, but semimembranosus. Here's another aspect. If we turn the thigh, so we're now looking at a medial view. So we're looking at it from the side, and now we can see the semitendinosus and the semimembranosus, one right next to the other. So from a medial view, you see both of them fairly well. If you look from the posterior view, like this, the semitendinosus is over and on top of, or superficial to the semimembranosus. And the semimembranosus usually peeks out on both sides of the semitendinosus. But these are the 3 posterior thigh muscles and where they sit and how they relate to the skeleton.